Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pearl's Paranormal TV. We talk about things that most people don't want to talk about out loud. We talk about paranormal things. We talk about unusual things. We talk about normal things. What is normal in this day and time? We're beginning to find out, thanks to a lot of technology being acquired by the world now, that a lot of suspicions that we've had for centuries have somewhat become true. We have an expert with us tonight that's going to expound in detail and a little bit more clearer and not formal explanation as to how these things can be. And this person has experience more than we have. We have the show because it just fascinates us. We've had personal experiences, but we have an expert tonight. But before you get to meet him, and I continue to share the show tonight, let me bring in the rest of the team. We've got the heartbeat of the South in every beat of my heart. My son, Tim Harrington. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Mom. How's everybody doing?
I think everybody's doing pretty good. First day of November, though. Well, the year is finally coming to an end, isn't it?
It is. It is.
All right. Well, you know we can't do it without her. And she will be hosting the show tonight. None other than CATHY C'C CARLSOL. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey, how you doing? Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, great. I've been looking forward to this. We set it up a couple months ago. So,
yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm excited, too. So let's not keep everybody waiting. Tell us about our guests we have tonight.
Okay. Well, it's my pleasure to announce Charles Rosenay. It's spelled Rosenay. And he's from my home state of Connecticut. So welcome, Charles.
Welcome, Charles. Thank you.
And Kathy have known each other for a few years now and didn't realize we had this paranormal connection at all until recently.
Yeah. Well, isn't that amazing? Well, we are really excited to have you. Before we get into the detail, we're gonna we normally take a little time by running some of our sponsors here and what we call a commercial break, and gives us time to go ahead and share to our Facebook friends and our other platforms so we can bring people in. Because a lot of times, they're watching their 7:00 show, or they're just, doing stuff, getting ready for the next day. They forget about it. And so we have to kind of send them a reminder. So that's what we're going to do right now, everybody. Hi, Sandra. Let's see, I think I saw Sandra. Was that Sandra? Oh, that was me. Sandra is up here. Well, she's way up here. Okay, hi, Sandra. Welcome to the show. How about those tigers? What are they doing, girl? All right, then. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll let Kathy go ahead and take us away and start our terrific show that we're going to have tonight. We'll be back, y'all.
Ooh, we're firing up the Chewy app. Can't say no to these prices. Clumping litter? Resounding yes. Salmon pate? Love that for me. Essentials? Check. Ooh, we have enough to splurge on catnip toys. We did it. I feel so accomplished. Pet me, please. Okay, that's enough. Now back to me time. Love you.
Great prices, happy pets. Chewy.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I feel free to bare my skin thanks to Skyrizi. I'm celebrating my clearer skin my way. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. In another study, most people had 90% clearer skin even at 5 years. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Thanks to clearer skin with Skyrizi, this is my moment. There's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
To 50 years with my best friend and my soulmate.
The Quicker Picker-Upper. When you gotta get it done, one sheet is all you need. And Bounty is 50% more absorbent, so you can use less and get the job done with one.
You've got a bit of your face on your face.
Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper.
Here's a thread. The power to connect is the power to change. Connect 2 dots and change the whole plot. Connect one day and change a long week. Connect to one thought and change what you speak. Connecting these hearts, we change their flow, the plan, the path, the course, route, and road. Connect with uncertainty and change what we know. The plots that unfold,
The seeds that we grow.
Connect and change what you want. What do you want?
What do you want?
¿Qué es lo que quieres? Find it and lose it again. Don't like the hue? Change the color. Scared of the storms? Change their thunder. Don't share the dream? Dream another. Connect and change. Your phase, a place, the dance, the towns, the now, your vow, the news, the views, the fight, the night, the light. Anything you like.
Connect.
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 Connect. Connect and change. Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
I think we're back. All right. Kathy, I'm going to get this out of you. I'm going to actually move you up here. I'm going to take me up
thank
here.
you.
I'll also put Charles up there beside you, okay?
All right, cool.
All right. There you go. Take it away.
All right. Okay. Well, Charles, we need you to tell us all about Salem Paracon right now, because there's an event coming up November 11th and 12th, and I was totally blown away by that. So if you could just give us some of the details, because you have some wonderful guests.
So excited. It's the Salem Paranormal and Horror Convention, as you mentioned, November 11th and 12th at Salem State University. In what better place than Salem, Mass, to have this type of a theme event? And you know, we're doing Connecticut paranormal conventions for a while now, and last year we did the first one in Salem and had a great time. And this year we're really excited because we've got one of the OGs, the original mentalist from what we remember in the Johnny Carson days and all that. The amazing Kreskin is our special guest for the paranormal end of things. We have 3 horror guests. Tara Buckman, who was in Silent Night, Deadly Night. I love my horror films. And 2 actors from Friday the 13th, Part 2. But then it's all these amazing psychics and readers and paranormal investigators who are known, you know, throughout the East Coast. And it's just great to have them, not only because they'll be there at the table for people to meet, get autographs if they want to, take pictures of, but they'll also be on stage talking and sharing their, you know, paranormal experiences and unworldly news. It's just really something that I'm so glad to be part of this paranormal universe. And you keep saying I'm an expert, and I have to disagree. Tim is going to smile because he knows there were no such thing as a paranormal expert.
I don't know now. I don't know.
We can have theories, right? And we could have experiences, and we could give our you know, opinions. But I think it's a grade above us to be able to be an expert in that field.
Well, it probably depends on how many paranormal experiences you've had. I suppose someone who had a lot of them would consider themselves an expert, maybe.
I think no matter how many experiences you have, I still think that most of them go under the category of unexplained. I think that they're supernatural, certainly, and they're you know, maybe a different portal and a different plane. But to be an expert, I think you have to be able to definitively explain how things are happening, why they're happening, when they're happening. You have to be able to make them happen, and that's not up to us. We're just in this, in this world and touching upon perhaps another world, but not really being that conduit. I don't find myself to be a medium. I'm not clairvoyant. I don't have the third eye or a sixth sense. What I do have the gift of being able to take amazing photographs. If I'm with someone who has that sensitivity, and they'll say, Charles, look in that corner, take pictures. I'm feeling something cold in there. And I'll take off 10, 20, 30 pictures. Something unbelievable will usually appear in one of those pictures that I can't explain and I haven't seen. I'm not the one feeling it. Like the cover of my book, True Ghost Stories of Connecticut. Guys, I took about 20 photos of this. It's in a theater, in an opera house. This is the balcony. No one was allowed up there. It was condemned, no access to it. There was a blank door. I took pictures and pictures and pictures of this blank door. And every photo I took was blank except for one. And there's a shadow figure of some sort right in that. And I had to put it as the cover of my book because it was such a moment. And I thought, wow, for some reason I have that knack and that talent of being able to take supernatural or paranormal photos and get results. But I don't have that power. I don't sense it.
Okay, well, that's a great explanation. So you were expert enough to explain to us that nobody can be an expert. So
right. Well said. An expert enough to explain that we're not all experts.
That's good. Now, Charles, I was like mesmerized also by some of the psychics you're having there because I'm not trying to plug my book. I have a book called Beyond the Veil of Sedona. And you did a promo about psychics helping on the other side. So
right.
I was just showing his picture here, so that everybody could maybe see it up closer, a little bit closer, of the image that he's talking about.
Thank you.
That appeared on the screen. Yeah, and we also have the flyer of the event that you're having too. We're gonna bring that up here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead, Kathy. Now you guys can continue to talk about that.
Yeah, I guess I am psychic.
Got an echo.
Because I'm a twin. Also, it helps. But yes. I like your explanation about taking pictures. Because they show things. Other you would real eye. So, but yeah. Is there any way we can get that echo?
Like numerous time?
Excuse me.
I'm hearing you.
Echo.
I know.
Yeah, you're echoing.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do anything with your volume. Hold on 1 second.
I think it's when you put it on the big screen when it starts.
It's when you do the screen.
But no one else is echoing, so it's got to be on your end.
No. I'm echoing.
No, you're not. Everybody's echoing?
Everybody.
Oh, I don't hear
it. They put it on the big screen.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Now we're back.
Okay. Now,
I still hear echo. Echo?
Oh, okay.
Do you hear echo?
No. It's gone.
Okay. All right. Great. All right.
So now the psychics, are they helping people, ghosts and such? Because you did that about the psychics beyond the veil, assisting people. But at the convention, that would be a difficult place to do. But is that what they normally do when you travel with your psychic friends?
No, that's great question. Yeah. So many different levels of what we do. I tend to once a month or every other month host a psychic paranormal event where we'll have dinner. We'll teach people how to use the paranormal equipment, the ghost gear, and then we'll go to for lack of a better word, a haunted location, whether it's a restaurant or a theater or even a residence, and we'll do an actual investigation, and we'll have, along with me and along with guests, one or two specialists who have different.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry. Okay, there we go.
I'm gone too.
Okay, there you go. All right, he was on Spotlight. No problem.
Some of them have the knack of being able to help spirits cross over if spirits need to cross over. Others, have the power to cleanse if there's people who feel there's attachments to them. It seems like different people who I'm associated with have different expertise. There's demonologists. There's someone named Carol who's FBI Unsolved, and she does forensic paranormal, where it's, actual CSI, incredible stuff. And then there's others who have written about it and give their own personal talents and explain how to do it so that other people who may have a gift can do it. It's crazy, guys, because we call it a gift now. And, some years ago, people were thought of to be nuts. They would put people in sanitariums and asylums if they were things in their room. It was such a horrible sin. And, some of these asylums are now haunted for that reason.
Exactly.
But I had an associate who would, he said he slept with the covers over his head for 20 years because he saw things in his room. And when he tell his parents, they sent him to psychiatrists and therapists, psychologists, until one night he took pictures and saw the entities in the pictures and showed it to his psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist went, "Oh my God." And from that point on, the psychiatrist said he changed his whole theory and his whole way of actually treating his patients, who were no longer patients in a mental way, but now were patients in a therapeutic way.
Hey. Love that. Amazing. That does
My mom used to tell me I wasn't seeing anything. My mother used to tell me I wasn't seeing things either. That I was just daydreaming or wasn't anything there. Yeah, right. Because kids, people, almost, I don't know why adults always think that kids are imagining things. They just automatically presume that,
Right. And it's probably a case of your mom probably had no psychic ability and didn't see things herself, and therefore just assumed you didn't. But it's very possible that your grandma did. Sometimes it's passed on, skipping a generation. Tim's kids might have it, in other words.
It skipped me.
Yeah. Tim skipped him. Well, I think that it may have been in my grandmother's side for sure, because she was a Creek Indian, what we call Black Creek Indian. Yep. And they were from the deep woods down in Mississippi, way during slavery time, when Indians and slaves lived together, and of course they mixed bread, and so my Aunt Jane was my mother's great aunt, and she was the original black, I don't know, Indian blooded Creek Indian. And so they named, my middle name comes from my great Aunt Jane, like my mother's great Aunt Jane, Jane, really. And so I think that, the Indian tribes had a very strong connection with the earth, the wind, and water,
the elements,
and fire, right? And so it came. I know it came from my grandmother's side, but I never got to meet my grandmother, which is maybe why the sight was passed on to me, because my grandmother passed away from pneumonia when my mother was 12 years old.
Wow. People ask me, I always say Connecticut is one of the most haunted states. And that's not to take.
I was going to ask you why was that too.
I'm going to answer because I don't want to take away from every other state. Every state has its hauntings and its spooky locations, granted. But I think, and here's a theory, a non-expert theory, that if a place had a lot of bloodshed, a lot of wars, and automatically, that many killings and unresolved trauma, that would tend to leave spirits, out in the open. But now combine that, and you made me think of this. You combine that with how much Native American Indian land was in Connecticut. It was all Native American, and everything that was built was probably built on original homes and original Indian
graves, sacred ground. Yes,
and it's sacred ground. So I think in places like here, Virginia and Atlanta, places in Florida, Pennsylvania, and
Mississippi, the South.
All the South, very much so, and of course all the New England states. And I think that's why I think there's a lot more cases of hauntings. I do a lot of library appearances, and I'll sit and talk about my books. And people, the first thing I say is, "How many people believe in ghosts? Raise your hand." Now you know that most of the people raise their hand, and then I said, "How many have had a paranormal experience?" And the
hands go down.
Hands go up.
Oh, really?
Most people, right? And they themselves are. It's like sort of not Alcoholics Anonymous. It's like Paranormal Anonymous, because then they want to tell their story. They want to tell their story. They want to share their experiences. Someone told me something in an interview that he had. He was in a shopping market, and all of a sudden he heard his grandma's voice loud and clear call him. And he turned around, and he's like, his grandma had been gone for a while. How did he hear the voice? And so I had to ask certain questions, and it's what I ask of people who tell me. I go, was there a trauma involved? Was her death peaceful? Is there anything unresolved? I ask if when you heard her voice, was it an anniversary? Was it a birthday? Was it a day of her when she passed? And then the most telling question I like to ask is, was there a reason? Were you in an accident just prior to that? Could she have, by stalling you that 5 seconds or 10 seconds, saved you from stepping out and getting over whatever? I think those are all theories, but I think the last one is the strongest, because you're hearing a voice from beyond, and there's no other rational reason. It's a reason we don't know, but it's a reason they know, and it's the reason they reached out, because it ain't easy for them to do it. It's not easy, and they don't do it on call. We can't make it happen.
No, we can't make it happen.
Yeah.
I've been awakened a couple of times with voices calling me out while I was asleep.
Really?
And I've heard voices call me, wake me up, and then I've heard a voice call me, and most of the time they're male, and I think it's my grandfather. But if I'm just in the house in broad daylight, I can hear someone. I can be in another room and I hear someone call me from the other room, but it doesn't happen frequently. It's rare, but it's just that because I am 74, it has happened to me a lot, of times before.
Now, Charles, I don't mean to interrupt, but I did live in a haunted house in Connecticut, more than one.
What cities?
Enfield, Connecticut. It was a town called Hazardville, and Colonel
Hazardville.
Gunpowder. So that had a lot of war activity there.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I lived in an old farmhouse that had been passed down to my generations. Not only was the house haunted, but the tobacco shed in the back was haunted. they would talk to me. They wouldn't talk to my sister or my friend. And I would go to open my mouth and they would talk.
Wow.
All at the same time in this shed, tobacco shed. So, but what happened is the house mysteriously burnt down, and the shed too, and they rebuilt it. But yeah, well, I knew something weird was going to happen. It was right after we moved out,
Really?
which was a good thing. Yeah. So anyway, so I know, is Enfield haunted in any of your books? Do you have anything in Enfield, Connecticut?
That's a good question. So I don't think, definitely northern Connecticut, on that Springfield and the Massachusetts border, it is a very, very strong paranormal area. I'm not sure if there's any stories in the book about it, but it might be in the next volume. What I did, what I did in this book, which is really, I think, interesting, is that I went ahead and I interviewed and I try to get not just my own chapters and my own experiences to share, but people who are in the psychic and paranormal field a lot longer than me, and I wanted their firsthand accounts. And I said, what's the most wow story you have? And they go, oh, I have dozens of them. I don't want dozens. I want the one that comes to your mind when I say, what's your most amazing ghost story? That's the one that I want, and that's the one I'm going to put in the book. And some of them are really jaw-dropping stories, and I'm just so proud of the people who wrote them. And the ones, that the one that I put in, I'm really proud of too, because I did 2 or 3. I did one on Dudley Town, which is a very scary part of Connecticut. I did one on the Pink Lady of New Haven, and that's not. It's not a stripper, Tim. It's a ghost. And I'm sorry, I just had to be funny.
That's okay. You can say it.
Kathy used to hate when I used to tease people on a different show. So I got.
Oh no, it doesn't bother us. We're family folks. We're just laid back, comfortable.
Yeah. Well,
let me. Okay, Tim. I'm gonna let you ask your question. I'm gonna hold mine. I got one after you because I got to get our audience comment in. That's what I want to do.
I want to ask you, right? What's your opinion on, let's say, like movies like The Exorcist, The Conjuring, and it gets us when they say it's based on real events. Have you experienced anything or know anyone that experienced something close to that or similar to that?
That's a great question. I'm proud and happy and delighted to say I've not experienced demonic stuff myself, and I hope I never do. I hope I'm never at an exorcism. I hope I'm never in contact with anyone who needs that, because that's a whole nother level, and that's we're talking in priests and really expertise.
That's not paranormal. That's evil.
Yeah, and for years I was this monster guy, this horror guy who loved the Wolfman and Dracula and all that stuff, and The Exorcist and the Conjuring, they fit in that category. They're fiction. Yes. Yeah, they're based on true things because priests have had to do exorcism. There's a place in Connecticut, it's the Stepney Cemetery, and in the back there's the shed for the cemetery, and there's a giant cross over it cut out, and then next to it is the church that supposedly has had more exorcisms performed in there than any other church, either in New England or the United States. I forgot what it was. So there's definitely something behind why these films were made, but based on a true story, could be based on one headline in the newspaper. It could be based on one paranormal event that the Warrens, the famous team behind the Conjuring series, they were from Connecticut. It might be one of their cases, and somebody took one paragraph out of their certain case of demonic possession and built a whole film around it.
Right.
It doesn't make the film bad or good. I mean, I love those movies. I think they're great movies, but they're whether they're based in truth or not, they work on their own merits.
Yeah. Okay, from our guest, one more audience members. He lives here in Memphis. Doug says that Graceland was an infirmary during the Civil War. And he'd made this comment, Charles, back when you were talking about the psych wards. You know how a lot of the buildings are haunted.
Well, I have to say that I did capture a ghost last time I was in Memphis at Graceland. So I did capture it in a
Well, all
picture. I haven't
right.
shared it yet. I only shared it with Elaine.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't eating a peanut butter and banana sandwich, was he?
I'll tell you where the location was, though. It was in the office. In the office where they had the old-fashioned TV, the regular old-fashioned TV and all that. It was in that room.
Okay.
I captured it.
Well, this artist member says that he has lived in a shed and sat in on a ghost meeting and he wasn't welcome. So how do you know you weren't welcome? You sat in on it. And I don't think they will let you sit in on it if you weren't welcome.
How do you know when you go to do paranormal investigation that they want to be acknowledged? There's so many levels of what an entity could want and why they're there. Some might be there because they don't know that they have to cross over. Some might be because they want to be there. Maybe their best memories were there. Maybe family and just
a lot of reasons.
And you can't forget about poltergeists because there was a lot of activity when I was a teenager in my grandmother's North Street farmhouse I was telling you about. Like she would be holding an egg and the egg would jump straight out of her hand and fall on the ground. And it happened several times. And we were like, what the heck? And we were like, what just happened? She goes, oh, that was nothing.
Yeah, that's true. They can happen,
Yeah, and they would run around the farmhouse and bang on the walls, and my grandfather would run out with a shotgun, and there was nobody there, stuff like that. But one thing happened in Summers in a cemetery next to my uncle's house. I went to visit that place where they kept all the bodies in the cold slabs, and we actually went in it. It was so eerie feeling. And then I went home, and a ghost followed us home because I heard that. What is your opinion about that? Have you heard about ghosts following people home and shit like that? Because it was crazy.
I have a theory. I have a great big theory on that. And one of my theories is, people when they come on the paranormal investigations, I'm not the first one into this place. I'm sure other groups have gone in there and other investigators, and what are the odds that this entity or anomaly is going to pick one person out of one group to go home with? What? Why would they, if they've been in this place for 5 centuries?
Or they want to stay there.
Because I can communicate with them. That's why they want to communicate with people. They want to share their story, their feelings, their life, all of that. And
so I think that they would realize that you are open to that. I don't think what I'm referring to is the people who go on with me and they'll say, oh my God, I'm so afraid I'm going to have an attachment at the end. I think it's a different scenario if they're a conduit. I mean, Kathy, you might be a portal to that. And that might be something that you're open to consciously or subconsciously. So that would be more inviting to a spirit that needs to move to another location or needs somebody to channel through. But I contend that in 99.9% of it, they're not going anywhere. And if they are, it's because somebody has, for lack of a better word, the gift or power to help them cross over.
Yeah.
And if that's done, the place will still always have residual energy. It will always have that feeling that you get in your gut when you walk in there, but it might not have that ghost still there. And the other thing people say is, well, aren't you afraid all these ghosts, they might be demonic, they might be evil? And I'm like, I want a big applause after this because I think it's a great concept, and I think you're going to agree with me. If we're in a room with 4 people, with 40 people, with 400 people, how many of those people are evil? None. We're mostly good. We're mostly good, God-fearing, Judeo-Christian, great people. How many in 10,000? All right, maybe one. How many are that evil person that will do what the Hamas did? How many are evil who would cut off somebody, an animal's head, do something real evil? Maybe 1 in a million, right? 10 million. Well,
it depends if you have a coven, and that's a little different story. Maybe then there's a group, but they don't normally hang out at conventions. So,
but what I'm saying is that
Kathy got the kids. Kathy, you
thank God.
You gotta cheer from the kids on that one.
What I was going for was
minus the covens, everyone else is pretty cool.
There's those odds in real life. That's what I think the odds are in the afterlife, because there's going to be that one evil person out of a million. But I think there's going to be a lot of mischievous people. Kathy, you know, if I'm going over and I'm not crossing over, I'm the one who's going to slam the doors. I'm the one who's going to, rattle the utensils. I'm the one who's making people lose stuff.
Those are the kind of ghosts that your mother or your grandmother, you said about the egg. Those were mischievous ghosts that were in that house, or at least one.
Yeah.
Doug says some people are semi-mediators, Kathy, and you were talking about that. You have the ability to talk to them. So would she be considered a semi-mediator or a mediator, Charles?
I've never heard the term semi-mediator. You either have a power to do what you can or you don't. And if it's semi, it's probably because it's an untapped gift.
Untapped. I think that's probably what he means.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that if you have it, at an early age, you would know. At an early age. I don't think it would wait till you got this age to know it. Later in life, because I know I was a portal for spirits to visit me when I was a kid. But I didn't want to be because it frightened me. I'd have nightmares. It frightened me so badly, Charles, that I would have seizures.
Oh my God!
Because it frightened me that bad. And so my mother went and visited, I guess what you maybe call old witch doctors, so wise women that knows all these different types of fixes, to stop kids from having bad dreams and nightmares and things like that.
Yeah.
But it actually worked. I had to keep it. I kept it sealed. I kept this particular charm or whatever you call it for all of my life, and they actually stopped visiting me. And then I didn't destroy it. That I was told not to never destroy it, but I did destroy it in the year 2000. And so since then, they have not bothered me with me seeing them, but I can definitely feel them and smell them when they come around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
let's take a break. Let's take a break. Because I think that one blew Charles away. But Tim can tell you that his mom been psychic for a long time.
Yeah.
I can tell him things gonna happen before they happen, and what we call premonition. Premonitionatory, whatever you call it. What is that word? I don't know what you call it. I just made up one. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back to that. Okay, guys, stick and stay. Please don't go away. Share our show.
So, are you going to Amy's wedding?
I don't have the money.
Yeah, you do.
Who are you?
I'm you, from the future. And I just got paid.
And I'm Dave. I can get you up to $500 of your future money now.
Up to $500 instantly?
Instantly.
That's amazing. Oh, who's he? Oh, this is Paolo. We met at the reception. Hi. Hola. Hello. That's me.
Download Dave and get up to $500 instantly.
Need to get your windshield fixed? SafeLight makes it easy. You can schedule it in just a few clicks, and we'll come to you with a replacement you can trust.
It's great.
That service on your time.
Schedule now.
Safe like repair, safe like replace.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
Welcome to the Shack 12-Week Shred. My name is Rock Shabazz, and I'm here to take you through the same program that I made for this guy right here.
This program is without a doubt a huge reason why I was able to get fit and stay fit. If you put in the work and stay consistent, you just might be able to keep up. It's time for you to get to work.
All right, we're back. Audience, as you can see, I have put Charles's Instagram link in there. A couple of Instagram links. And Kathy, can you tell me what those links are about?
Oh, the Instagram links? I thought you were going to put the movie that Charles, the short movie, and
well, I guess is that the links to them, because I can't put the movie in here.
Yeah. I gave you the YouTube video. If anyone wanted to watch his short movie, yeah, we can talk about that.
That's it right there. I thought that was a YouTube link. Okay, yeah, hold it. YouTube, here it is. There it is. That's the YouTube link. Yeah.
Okay. I guess we could talk about that then, because I didn't know you were involved, Charles, with all these film things. You've made a film, you're an actor, you said you've been in at least, you got 30 credits or more. So can you tell us about your movie that you won an award for?
Oh, the one that I won an award for was a movie called Kvetch. I played deaf in that. And it was the Downbeat Film Festival. I was Best Supporting Actor for that, which was very, very exciting. But I don't think it's my best role. I was in something called Zombie Chronicles. It was a 4-episodic, like a mini series done online. I've been in a lot of work. A company called Scared Stiff TV.
I've seen Scared Stiff.
Yeah, they cast me in a lot of great things, and in that one I got to play a reverend, a father, who is part of the zombie apocalypse, and he's protecting a house, and he's sharing that house with this other guy, and the other guy really doesn't want me to have all my weapons, and he doesn't want to have my supplies, and he wants to go out. He wants to investigate to see if there's other people still surviving, and I don't want to. I just want to protect this home, and I give him a long soliloquy on why about life and about this, and he shoots me in the head and takes me. But that's one of my best acting roles. And the post production of the gunshot and me getting hit in the head was pretty cool. He tends, the guy in Scared Stiff, Doug Palmitano, who does these films, tends to kill me a lot in a movie called something Tiny's October 31st, which is a Halloween type film. I get killed by a staple gun.
Oh my goodness.
The one that we have the link to, I think, is called Halloween House, if I'm not mistaken. And in that one, I play like a henchman, a mobster, and I get gunshot wounds in the throat, and it's very graphic. It's cool. But probably the best kill that I was in was a movie called Pink Eye, which was released nationally, and it was a crowbar through the head. And you can see
Holy crow! Holy crow! I like
one side of the
All
crowbar
right.
here and the other one coming out. Those are some of the Charles kills that I've been.
You weren't the first guy to get killed, were you? You weren't the first guy, right?
No, not the first.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, Charles knew what Tim was talking about. Yeah, I got that too. I got the silent joke.
Now, how about the Elton John movie? How could you get an Elton John movie? Flight of the Conchords.
Not Flight of the Condoms. It's Flight of the Conchords. I'll tell you what happened.
Conchords, CONCORDS.
Yeah, I get a call. I got a call, and I guess my resume at the time said I could imitate Paul McCartney and Billy Joel, and they said, hey, we understand you do rock and roll celebrity impersonations. And I was taught that when you get a call
you say yes, always.
And you do Elton John, I didn't even hesitate, and I said yes.
Well, you do have the figurine of him, with the wig and the glasses, and
very easy with the wig, the hat, with the big.
That's true.
What put it over the top is they blackened a space in between my teeth.
Oh no, did they? Wow.
Yeah. And then I look like Elton. And so in this show, it was the second season of Flight of the Conchords on HBO. The show was called Prime Minister. There was an Obama lookalike. They played Simon and Garfunkel lookalikes. There was a Bee Gees lookalikes, Cher lookalike, and there were two Elton Johns. One was myself, and the other one was the famous comedic actor Patton Oswalt. And so he's the main Elton, and I'm chasing him around, and he's upset that there's two Eltons. But
wow.
That was the best of the national things. I was also in a ESPN sports movie called The Bronx is Burning, and I was in a movie with Tom Savini, the great horror makeup guy. I'm trying to remember the name of the film, but in that one, I played the dad. And what's neat is that's one of two films. Oh, it's called The Sadist. That's right. It's one of two films where if you play the trailer, the coming attractions, the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm the first voice you hear. And
really?
Yeah, in the movie The Sadist. And another movie that was released, I think last year or the year before, which came out nationally, called Night at the Eagle Inn, where people go into this hotel and it's possessed. And the first entity they find is on a television, and it's me as a cross-dressing debutante.
Oh, wow. And these movies are where now? They're on streaming somewhere?
So they're that one played in theaters, and some are streaming. Some you'll find on Tubi, on Hulu, on YouTube.
Wow.
Now, where can we find? Do you have a bio? Can we find your movies somewhere?
Well, you can write down the titles and just search the platforms.
You can go on IMDb.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I did IMDb, yeah.
It'll list most of my credits. And there's one on there which is hysterical because I auditioned for it. I 100% was not in it, and I'm listed in it. So,
oh my goodness.
So there's some that are missing, but then there's one that I was put on, which.
So was the paycheck missing too?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I've had songs that happen too, where people forgot my. Yeah, it's not that great a feeling, right?
We're going to wrap up, and so let's do closing remarks or questions. Tim, we'll start with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Charles, for coming through and spending time with us, man. I hope you come back again. I really enjoyed it.
I'm loving it. I have so much more to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have you back because, we have to do series when we have you, Charles.
Honored.
No, I'm just kidding. We are enjoying you. We could really go on and on and on. But we always try to not bore our audience, and so they'll come back. And then, but sometimes now when we have our special shows, we do 2 hours But we always let them know ahead of time it's going to be a long time show so they can make plans. But also, we don't like to tire our guests out. We don't want to bore our guests either, because we want our guests to come back and be with us all the time. You're welcome to come back anytime. I have certainly enjoyed you. I said I wasn't going to talk much because I didn't feel good. Well, guess what, Charles? You made me feel better.
That's my other power. My other power.
That's your other power. Yes, I ended up talking more than I had thought I was going to talk, because I had told Kathy earlier today, right, Kathy?
That's right. That's right.
So I just want to say thanks for making me feel better, first of all. So, Kathy, you can wrap it up. I know you probably got one more question, and then we'll get out of the city.
Okay. Now, Charles, and it's Rosenay, Rosenay.
Yes.
Can you tell us how to get tickets and where your event is going to be happening in Salem on November 11th and 12th, and how much the tickets are and all that jazz?
Thank you. Yes. So it's the Salem Paranormal and Horror Convention. The website is www.salemparacon, SALEMPARACON.org, not .com. Tickets are only $19.99, and it includes everything, whether it's the Saturday or the Sunday, November 11th or 12th. It's at Salem State University on the South Campus, right in Salem, Massachusetts. We use the university because it's one of the few places where there's tons of free parking. So if you're coming from anywhere on the East Coast, from New England, from New York, wherever, you're going to have a great time. You're going to meet a lot of special people. There's going to be awesome vendors selling everything from crystals and candles and horror merch, you name it, it'll be there. And I'll be signing copies of my Ghost Stories book and also my book of top 10 horror lists. And I'll get to meet everyone because I'm usually the first person you see when you come through the door. And that could be good or that could be bad, depending on the situation.
Wonderful. You hit all of it. So thank you, Charles. Mm-hmm.
Well, we just put that up there. www.salemparacon.org. Is that correct?
That's perfect. Come visit the site. You'll see who all the guests are. You'll read about what they do and what their paranormal history is. And you'll also get to buy tickets right online. Yeah, come visit.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. So you'll come back to see us real soon, right?
I promise. I would love to.
Oh, right. That's awesome. Well, all right, guys. That looks like that wraps it up. I want to thank our team. Thank our audience for sticking and staying with us. I'll send the direct link over to the show tomorrow to Kathy, and she could send it to you. Whether you'll be able to share your interview with us and your fun that you had with us with anyone you want to, all right?
I sure will.
All right, then. Well, that's our time, guys. So we thank you all so much. And everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.